We have all heard about the benefits of fermented dairy products, and this is true because those microorganisms that live in fermented dairy products bring great benefits to our intestines and many other organs. And it is no coincidence that experts recommend that fermented dairy products be included in our diet. But here there is one caveat. The fact is that some fermented dairy products will do you more harm than good, and you need to know about these products at the same time. Some fermented dairy products are much more useful than their other representatives. So in this video, I decided to make such a purposeful selection. First, we will talk about the most harmful fermented dairy products, and then I will tell you about the most useful fermented dairy products. Well, dear friends, before we start our list, please subscribe to the channel and like it, so as not to miss other videos. So let's go. So let's talk first about harmful fermented dairy products. Item number 1 is processed cheese. Processed cheese really probably does more harm than good. On the one hand, it is a source of calcium and phosphorus and some vitamins. But on the other hand, it is an excellent source of phosphates. Phosphates are those substances that are added to give it a pasty texture, and phosphates are obviously harmful. It has been proven in particular that phosphates interfere with the absorption of calcium. Moreover, significant doses of phosphates begin to destroy calcium reserves in your body. That is, if we abuse processed foods and cheese, then we can really earn ourselves a problem with bones. And especially phosphates are dangerous for children. Abuse of melted cheese can even cause rickets. In addition, processed cheese contains a lethal dose of sodium. It is too salty. Although this very property could be noted, for example, by those people who like to go on mountain hikes, like, for example, me. There is no refrigerator in the mountains, but it is well known that ordinary cheese is stored in hiking conditions for several days. But processed cheese is stored for an order of magnitude longer. That is why hikers in the mountains often take ordinary cheese and processed cheese with them. The first days we eat ordinary cheese until it deteriorates, and then processed cheese is used, well, if necessary. When something needs to be eaten and there is nothing else, you can resort to this. Going further, the next fermented milk product from which there will definitely be more harm than good is the following combination: low-fat sweet yogurt. If you buy yogurt with a reduced fat content and also with a sweet taste in the store, then do not think that you are consuming something useful. Of course, it can be used as a source of calories because it is better than walking all day hungry. I took a bottle of yogurt with me for a snack, and it's good to get energy. But you shouldn't expect benefits from such a product. Why? Firstly, any low-fat fermented milk products are to some extent defective. Firstly, calcium from low-fat fermented milk is usually not digested because it goes through such chemical processes that the body is simply not susceptible to this form of calcium. Secondly, if you read the composition of low-fat yogurt, starch is very often added there. It would seem that starch in yogurt makes starch has a place in potatoes. How did it get a dairy product? But they really write on the label yogurt composition starch. Starch is added there artificially to give it a consistency in order to thicken it. There is actually no benefit from such starch. It is actually sugar, and another component that I said is a sweet taste, of course. Very often, huge doses of sugar are poured into yogurt so that the sugar is almost like in soda. Of course, any fermented milk products should be no sugar. Going further, the next point is fermented dairy products with milk fat substitutes. Yes, this is a whole problem. I must say that it depends on the country because, for example, in Europe, it is literally prohibited. But for example, in Russia, it is allowed. That is, in principle, it is possible to make cheese based on palm oil. It is legal. We can only hope that the manufacturer himself will write that in the composition is palm oil. That is, God forbid you buy, for example, sour cream or cheese, and vegetable oil is written in the composition. Put everything on the shelf and stay away from this product. There should be no vegetable component in sour cream and similar products. And finally, I will probably add the obvious points for you, but these are all sweets wrapped in dairy products. That is, for example, condensed milk is, of course, a nightmare. It's just an injection of sugar-glazed cheeses, and also nothing good boiled condensed milk goes there. I think everything is already clear here. And now we turn to the most useful fermented milk product. And here the number 1 item is natural yogurt. Namely, natural yogurt prepared with high-quality bacterial starter culture, without adding sugar and other unnecessary ingredients. I must say that buying such a real live yogurt in a supermarket is a problem. Of course, you can do it somewhere in the departments of healthy nutrition if you look for it specifically. But no one will give you a guarantee that it will be a really high-quality yogurt. So the best way is to cook live yogurt yourself. It is the bacterial starter culture that is stored in the refrigerator or even in the freezer that is usually white powder, It is pure bacteria. Further milk is usually not ultra-pasteurized, but simply pasteurized. That is, milk that quickly turns sour in just a week. The starter culture is added to the milk and then cooked either on the windowsill or on the battery. Or the most optimal is if there is a yogurt maker. It is able to provide the desired temperature for a long period, and a very useful product is obtained at the output. What is the principle here? The fact is that milk contains lactose, as we well know. Lactose is milk sugar. That is, it is a simple carbohydrate. When we add bacteria to this very milk, the bacteria begin to eat this lactose. That is, it is a source of energy for them. They eat, they multiply there, continue to eat lactose, and reproduce. As a result, our dairy product becomes fermented milk. That is, it turns sour due to these bacteria, which is why there will be no lactose in the finished yogurt, because these bacteria have eaten it. So these very bacteria will provide the greatest benefit to our intestines and the whole body too, because a healthy intestine and healthy microflora have been proven to strengthen our immune system and nervous system, and also have a positive effect on our mood and mental abilities. Yes, strangely enough, intestinal microflora is actually a separate organ, because the body of an adult healthy person contains from 1 to 2 kilograms of microbes. You can imagine, and this is the norm, and we must help good microbes conditionally defeat bad microbes. Going further, the next point is cheese. Which cheese will be most useful for our body? Oddly enough, nutritionists often recommend cheeses made from sheep's or goat's milk, and there are a number of reasons for this. Firstly, there is absolutely no lactose in such quarrels. Also, goat cheese is less high-calorie and contains a huge amount of protein. And it also contains a lot of potassium, calcium, magnesium, B vitamins, vitamin C. It has a very good composition of probiotics, that is, beneficial microflora. So we have analyzed the 4 most harmful and 2 most useful fermented milk products. Remember that choosing sour milk is not only a matter of taste, but also of health. It is important to pay attention to the composition and quality so that your purchases benefit, not harm. Please like it and share your thoughts in the comments. What dairy products do you like? Subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss new issues about health and nutrition. Take care of yourself and see you again.